Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Host Eddie Frederick.
So glad you can join us. Barbados' opposition seems rather upset over the snap election call by Prime Minister Mia Mottley. This story takes the lead in today's edition of Caribbean Perspective for Thursday, 30th December 2021. Details when we return.
Conveniently located in the Grand Anne Shopping Centre, for over 40 years, Food Fair has provided quality service at affordable prices. Now, grocery shopping is made easier and more convenient from the Food Fair web store.
Hey, babe. Listen, I need you to go down to Food Fair to get some groceries.
All right, no problem. Right away.
Thanks, babe. What are you doing? You're supposed to be going Food Fair to get a grocery, man.
I am, but didn't you know you can order your groceries online from the Food Fair web store?
Are you serious?
Of course. All you have to do is just to log on to www.foodfair.gd with credit card in hand, and with an order of $100 or more, Food Fair Grand Anse will deliver up to 3 miles away. And you don't even have to worry about your information, you know. Their safety measures are excellent.
So hold on. You just order online and Food Fair will deliver to you?
Yep.
Oh, baby, better hurry up and order, man.
I already did. They should be here any minute now.
Enjoy easy online shopping anytime from your home or office from the Food Fair web store. Food Fair, where you can fill your baskets without emptying your pockets.
Welcome back. Callous and reckless. This is how Bishop Joseph Atherley, opposition leader of Barbados, views Prime Minister Mia Mottley's call for a snap poll with a close date of January 19th. More in this Barbados Today news item.
The leader of the People's Party for Democracy insisted there's no reason to call an election in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic.
I say it's callous and it's reckless, and it is not in the interest of Barbadians, and it's not necessary a year and a half, unless you're facing down some crisis. What crisis are we facing down now that we did not face down a year ago? What crisis are we facing down now, according to her, that we will not be facing down later on in this year? The big thing for us is COVID, and I'm no prophet. I can't say that in a year and a half, COVID will be gone totally from us. But what I do know is that at today's date, a year and a half away election, there can't be any reason for you to expose Barbadians to that unless it's some crass political advantage and consideration that you have on your mind.
He also challenged Mottley's statements that she called the poll because the country is divided and there is need to unite around a common cause, a single government, and a single leader.
Government with 29 people in the lower house and 12 representatives in the upper house. That's 41 people. So what are you telling us that you're calling election because you need to have one government? There's but one government. When I hear that call, in the context of the reality that we live, what I'm hearing is a call for one-partyism in Barbados. Single partyism in Barbados. It would seem as though the Prime Minister wants that her voice is the only voice that is heard. It would seem as though the Prime Minister wants that the government can dictate to us on everything, and the people of Barbados can't raise a voice in query, or a voice in contradiction, or a voice in expression of an alternative view. That is looking to have a one-party state in Barbados. Pray tell me, friends, where in Barbados do we see more than any one government existing right now?
Barbadians have been weighing in on the snap poll. A BT News team took to Bridgetown, and this is the people's say.
The powers that be have a choice to do whatever they want to. I mean, hey, if she calls it snap election, it might be something that she wants to see being go forward in Barbados. Or, hey, we just live with it, you know. These things happen all over the world, and Barbados is no different. So whether you do or you die, you still have to do.
I did anticipate that it would come the earlier part of 2022. I did quite anticipate January, so it was a little sudden for me. Given the reality of the situation in the country, I think it's reasonable to expect it from a political standpoint to come at this time. because decisions do need to be made going forward, and you will want a mandate to do that. So the earlier, the better. So you can make those lightly hard decisions that need to be made going into 2022, 2023.
It's a brilliant move, and she's thinking, and she has her plan. She understands politics, and I think she's a good prime minister.
Great. She will make all the seats.
You think so?
All positive.
Okay.
Some of them need a little more work. But when election come, we get all the seats.
Younger folks in Jamaica are reporting serious vaccine side effects. This TVJ News item with Jamila Maitland tells us more.
It's called the event supposedly attributable to vaccination or immunization is Saviform. The Ministry of Health says since the rollout of the COVID-19 vaccination program in March, it has received 738 ISAV reports from the public about possible side effects since taking the drug.
For AstraZeneca, it's 497. For Pfizer, 202. And for Johnson & Johnson, 37. So we have classified that 738 into what may be deemed as serious and requiring investigation.
Dr. Melody Ennis heads the country's vaccination program. She says there are 165 serious cases. However, the actual number of people affected may be less since they can report having more than one side effects. It includes being hospitalized, having medical complications, or even dying since taking the vaccine.
For AstraZeneca in that group, we have 142 we consider serious. For Pfizer, 20, Johnson & Johnson, 2. And we actually do have one for Moderna. And this, of course, is someone who would have received the Moderna outside of country, came home, and got very sick.
5 Jamaicans have reported the very rare but serious anaphylactic shock, all of whom Dr. Ennis says are now doing well. 4 people developed Bell's palsy, which causes muscle weakening or paralysis of the face, while 21 people reported thrombosis. The symptoms developed after taking the AstraZeneca vaccine, except for one of the anaphylactic victims who took Pfizer.
Let us be clear that this is different from the clot that is ascribed to AstraZeneca, which is a clot with a low platelet count or that blood type that allows for clotting. So we haven't seen any thrombosis with clots with low platelets, but we have seen 21 thrombotic events.
But according to Dr. Ennis, the figures represent less than 1 in every 100,000 Jamaicans who take the vaccine and develop anaphylactic shock or Bell's palsy, while almost 3 in every 100,000 develop thrombosis. Of concern is that the side effects are being reported among the 18 to 36 age group.
I do not have the age breakdown. I'm scanning to see if I do. I don't have the age breakdown for the serious ISAVs, but if I look at what is happening internationally, it does appear as if the younger persons are in fact experiencing more ISAVs.
Jamila Maitland, TVJ News.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick.
The lack of trust is at the center of the reason for the low vaccination drive in Jamaica.
A target of 65% vaccination by March 2022 is in jeopardy as fewer Jamaicans are going for the jab locally. Only about 19% of Jamaicans have been vaccinated against COVID-19. But why is that? Director of Institutional Research at Northern Caribbean University, NCU, Paul Bourne, says that has to do with trust.
We are seeing that only 19.3% of Jamaicans trust the government, and many persons do not. Many persons think that there is a sinister motive behind the vaccination. So if they do not trust the government and they think that the campaign has some other plan or some other thing to do with it, then what is happening is that they are going to be reluctant to be vaccinated.
Mr. Bourne says, based on the research from his team, approximately 64% of Jamaicans believe that there is an ulterior motive behind the vaccine initiative. Based on that fact, he says the government should not be the ones leading the charge.
Because 7 out of every 10 Jamaicans say that they will be vaccinated if they think the vaccination is working, or if they think the scientists are coming out and actually letting them be told what the vaccination is all about.
Trinidad and Tobago's acting top cop says he is confident there will not be chaos and fallout in the police service come mid-January over the new vaccination policy. MacDonald Jacob explains that he is working with the Police Social and Welfare Association to encourage members to get inoculated against the COVID-19 virus before January 17th. Nicole M. Romani of TV6 News has that story.
The acting police commissioner is not anticipating problems ahead for the TTPS and the vaccination plan. Mr. Jacob tells the TV6 Morning Edition there has already been improvement in the last week, and he expects more officers to come on board.
We sort of having an internal drive for our officers to vaccinate, and we will also need, together with the association, to negotiate with the government to see how we can in fact work things out to organize to ensure that all our officers are vaccinated, and we will not reach that point of having that security crisis that you are actually alluding to.
He notes that hundreds of officers are in quarantine due to the virus.
But the whole aspect of COVID-19 is affecting the police service, because at this time we have around 708 persons in quarantine. And as you're aware, we had 23 officers. Up to this time, it could be 1 or 2 more. 23 officers died from COVID-19. And we have to continue working.
With regard to the so-called floating restaurant or reported boat ride that was intercepted by police on the weekend in Chaguaramas, the acting commissioner told the TV6 Morning Edition that persons may be charged.
Persons may be charged by means of summons and placed before the court. I know that there are in fact issues and the manner in how it was handled, but I want to indicate that this is not the first time that we in fact did an exercise like that and processed the persons and proceeded by summons. I think in January this year, we in fact were 100 persons with a nightclub in St. James. We processed them and then proceeded by summons. We also had another Zesta party in central Trinidad where 250 persons were charged and proceeded by summons.
He also explained the delay in the probe involving a female passenger with a positive PCR test who was allowed onto a plane inbound to this country from New York. Mr. Jacob said safety must come first.
In the circumstance of what you're referring to, where someone is in fact in quarantine, it is only wise that after we did all the footwork and we need to interview that person. There are certain things that need to be done in the investigative process. So we got to wait until the person is complete to quarantine and then we can proceed. There may be some matters that in some instances I myself may be dissatisfied with the speed in which the matters are dealt with, and we tend to call upon officers and their supervisors to ensure that the matters are completed within a reasonable time.
Nicole M. Romani, TV6 News.
Conveniently located in the Grand Shopping Center, for over 40 years, Food Fair has provided quality service at affordable prices. Now, grocery shopping is made easier and more convenient from the Food Fair web store.
Hey, babe. Listen, I need you to go down to Food Fair to get some groceries.
All right, no problem. Right away.
Thanks, babe. What are you doing? You're supposed to be going Food Fair to get a grocery, man.
I am, but didn't you know you can order your groceries online from the Food Fair web store?
Are you serious?
Of course. All you have to do is just to log on to www.foodfair.gd with credit card in hand, and with an order of $100 or more, Food Fair Granans will deliver up to 3 miles away. And you don't even have to worry about your information, Their safety measures are excellent.
So hold on. You just order online and Food Fair will deliver to you?
Yep.
Oh, baby, better hurry up and order, man.
I already did. They should be here any minute now.
Enjoy easy online shopping anytime from your home or office from the Food Fair web store. Food Fair, where you can fill your baskets without emptying your pockets.
I am Eddie Frederick. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean. In the meantime, please continue to log on to CaribbeanPerspective.com for more daily news and more.